This is going to be a massive week for Steam, as yet another Steam Next Fest is coming, featuring tons of new games for 2023 and beyond of all sorts. Yes, free demos for upcoming games such as survival games, open world, crafting, base building, city building, and more. And the Steam Next Fest is a great opportunity to try out these games, download them for free, and I'm going to highlight 10 games coming to the Steam Next Fest this week, some of which you may have seen before, but all free that you can try out before you buy, add to your wish list, and get a little bit more knowledgeable about the game before making a purchase. Pretty good, huh? Alright, well, join me now. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, hit that like button, and let me know your thoughts on my list down below in the comments section, and let me know if I missed anything or games that you would recommend for this Steam Next Fest, or upcoming games you're excited for in 2023 and beyond. Coming in at number 10 is LAYSARA Summit Kingdom, our first city builder on the list, and a city builder that plays a lot like Banished, Anno 1800, and Frostpunk. Yeah, look at that giant avalanche. Defending against the weather and, of course, providing your people of different classes with different things that they need is really a unique part of this game because you're doing it on the side of a mountain rather than building out to multiple islands like you would in Anno 1800. We're building up a giant mountain, and each different tier of the mountain, different plateaus, have different needs and also supply different things to the city. Like, for example, the bottom tier being a little bit more about agriculture and animals, and then as we go up, it is more about mining and manufacturing, and then at the very top, spirituality and building beautiful temples and trying to defend our entire kingdom against avalanches and other types of deadly things that might come their way. A Yeti, perhaps? I don't know. But anyway, LAYSARA Summit Kingdom, a damn fine demo that I enjoyed, and I'm glad to see it back again for this Next Fest. Up next at number 9 is a medieval combat game known as Medieval Machines Builder. Well, rather than being on the front lines as being a footman or perhaps an archer, this time you're in charge of the Engineers Guild, building siege equipment like trebuchets and catapults and more. And I really like the concept here. I can't tell you how many times in games like Total War or perhaps Stronghold, or even in games like Bannerlords, where I've wanted to go out and cut down trees, assemble all that stuff together, refine it, and actually make my own siege equipment and or transport it to different locations on the battlefield. Now, this game just being a little bit of a demo, it seems like you could almost get the gist of everything by just building one or two pieces of equipment, but there is quite a bit, from towers to, as I mentioned, trebuchets and catapults, to even battering rams and laying out all the blueprints and possibly becoming the best engineer in the kingdom or whatnot, I don't know. Sieging all sorts of different, possibly fictional scenarios could be good here. A demo that I'm really interested in, but I want to see this go into something where it could be modded to do things like, for example, from Lord of the Rings, or perhaps some fictional scenarios too, and other movies and things like that could be really interesting here. But I think with it being a playway game, we might get something like a scenario 1 through 10 or something like that, and that could be just good enough to see. But it's good to see a medieval combat game. Up next at number 8 is a game that I'm really happy has a Steam demo and that it's part of the Steam Next Fest. It's a game known as Back to the Dawn. It's a prison life / prison escape simulator, and it's genius. I've never seen something this cool before. Of course, we've seen other prison escape games before, like The Escapist, and we've also seen prison building games like Prison Architect, but this game combines a hell of a lot of those things together into a genius like open prison survival crafting and kind of relationship building game where you're trying to make friends between other rival gangs, all while being an undercover journalist. Like, you were basically convicted of a crime that you didn't commit, but you're trying to get to the bottom of a corrupt mayor in a corrupt city in a corrupt prison system, and it's really stylish, very cool, and I think this will be a game that a lot of people, a lot of streamers and YouTubers will try, as it has everything from combat to, of course, a prison escape, and also trying to, like, solve all sorts of different puzzles in order to unravel the story, or maybe possibly make your own. Anything's possible if you're taking control of these characters, and not just one. You know, typically you're playing as this fox in the demo, but there are other characters coming along, and this could be a game that could get a lot of love and attention to where it could be expanded upon even further. And I hope Back to the Dawn is a huge success, and I hope you check it out as well, because damn, it's a real cool ride so far, and it's just a demo. This is probably one of the biggest games on the list. Coming in at number 7 is a game known as Chinese Frontiers. And the reason I say that, of course, is because you get to build the Great Wall of China in this game. Massive, massive projects. Construction projects ranging from building a large bridge to, of course, the Great Wall of China and even a fortress. But you also get to manage your very own village. So if you're a big fan of Medieval Dynasty, for example, of building homes and workshops and farming and other things like that, this game allows you to maintain your own village, cook meals, and bring all that food to the construction site, and then build portions of the Great Wall and other tasks as well. And it's just a real good time. I've enjoyed this one since the demo long ago, played a more recent demo, and it's back again for the Steam Next Fest, and I'm just really happy to see this game getting more traction too. I just love it. This is a personal favorite because I really enjoyed games like Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, which taught me about a lot more than just what I learned from, days of studying Egyptian and Roman cultures and history, but implementing it into a game. And Chinese Frontiers has been a lot of fun so far, and I'm looking forward to the full release. Download that demo, it's a good one. Well, this next one at number 6 has been a long time coming. Destruction and Build 3. I can't believe it's actually been announced and that it's coming out and has a demo too. As well, since I played the second game, there's been a million farming simulator games and construction simulator and even games like, Ship Graveyard Simulator? Yeah, this game is really cool in terms of its franchise of destroying buildings and then building something new on top of it, and I think more games need to allow us to do this. Hell, even Farming Simulator should allow you to take down a barn with some construction equipment, or a bulldozer at least. But this has some really huge projects planned, everything from, as you can see, nuclear power plant cooling towers to even parking garages. It's just a lot of fun to destroy stuff, clean up the mess, and then build something new. Now, I think this is kind of more on the clunky fun side, like don't expect any sort of realism here, although they are trying to be more realistic with the physics. But hey, it is fun to get dirty and destroy a destruction site and build something on a construction site. So I welcome yet another Demolish and Build 3. It's good. Anyone up for some medieval RimWorld? Well, coming in at number 5 is a game known as NORLAND, and though I haven't had a chance yet to play it, I am going to definitely be playing this one on the Steam Next Fest because it really looks like a game that's got a lot of building techniques to it and a lot of different individual buildings where there's going to be some strategy to how you build your kingdom and take care of your people. Now, I've seen snippets of this game and I've seen a little bit of the gameplay too, and this is actually not necessarily a trailer, but actually parts and pieces from an actual kind of like a tutorial from the developers on what you'll be able to do in the game. And it looks beautiful and lush and gorgeous, and the characters, of course, remind me a lot of RimWorld as well. But it's great to see all the combat in the game, and of course a medieval theme that really looks diverse and rich with all the building types and all the different things you can do. Now, I have yet to get my hands on this game, as I mentioned, but it is one that I want to see both combat and also the ability to trade, and I want to see diplomacy too, and I hope this has the crazy complexity of what you'd expect from a RimWorld mod, though this is a game that's a standalone game, and it's going to be a game that seems like it'll be a long time to play, where you can build dynasties and more people will move in, and then of course massive medieval combat. Yeah, actual armies fighting against each other. So if you're going to go to war, it's going to take a long time to raise those armies and then possibly build multiple cities to unite your kingdom and try to fight other kingdoms. But it should be a game that would be great in multiplayer. Not sure if it is or not and when it'll come out. Hopefully soon, but will be a demo for everybody during the Steam Next Fest. Good times. Good times. Number 7 is a game that is very similar to Subnautica and Raft at the same time, and taking place on a post-apocalyptic Earth with a lot of violent storms and airship building. It's Forever Skies. Yeah, this game is really interesting, very cool, love the style, love the art, love what they're going for here, and is a game that releases on the 22nd of June. So a game that has a demo you can play now, but also is releasing within the window of the Steam Next event. So very cool stuff, and a game that after it releases will be in early access. It's going to get co-op, and then we'll eventually have more points of interest in other things to explore and discover. But I really have enjoyed this one so far. I have access to the full version of the game, well, at least the early access version of the game. No more demos for me, but I really did enjoy playing the demos, and the demo itself has a timer that really forces you to try to go explore things quickly. There are certain ways around that, of course, if you find certain items, but the story has really captured me here, as it is a little bit more than just a, hey, let's go ahead and make a Subnautica but in an airship, or hey, let's make Raft in an airship. There's a lot more from the developers here, and that's what really caught my attention after playing the demo for the first time and seeing it expand upon. It's a game that I really want to see more development on and see where the developers go, and it's a game that has a little bit of combat too. You may have seen some of the creatures and some of the flora and fauna that maybe necessarily aren't so friendly. So this is going to be one I want to see how co-op will be implemented after its release and what other features that they add. But man, in terms of a demo, this one's real solid and real complete, and certainly worth your time to download for a bit and try to build your very own airship, even with the limited points of interest that you can go to, and might be one you want to add to your wish list to either get upon its release or sometime after its forever skies. Return to Earth, demo out now. Are you still with me? Well, good. Well, welcome aboard Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew. Coming ashore at number 3, this game plays a lot like Shadow Tactics, or maybe even Desperados, or even like Commandos, with a little bit of Sea of Thieves sprinkled in. And all the different characters with their different abilities and different combos in different places can make for all the difference. What I'm trying to say is that this game has a lot of robust replayability and different tactics that you can use for all the different characters that it has. In other words, if you take character A and ability 1 and character B and ability 2 and kind of combine them together on the battlefield, then you have an extremely high advantage, but not without its dangers and risks. This is the type of game where it's more tactical than it is strategy, where you're always ambushing the enemy and trying to outnumber them or outsmart them with your different abilities and timing. And this game does have a little bit of ability where it almost makes it like a tactical pause in this tactical strategy game, and its story is very interesting and really is on par with what I enjoyed about Desperados 3 and its story too, and it has that mysticism that you might expect in Sea of Thieves, with everything kind of being all cursed and ghosts and that kind of thing. It almost feels like playing Monkey Island and also maybe something of Pirates of the Caribbean at the same time. So a very good game, lots of cool locations, lush environments, looks good, feels good. It is good, and it's available again as a free demo. So add it to your wish list if you'd like, but this is one that certainly I want to see more of and play more as it comes out on August 17th. Now, this next one I'm incredibly excited about because it is going to be absolutely out of this world. I've got to use that pun because honestly it's not. It's really a promise from this game. I really think that this game is going to be absolutely stunning and cinematic and just beautiful. And this game, of course, coming in at number 2, is called The Invincible, featuring atomic punk art style and from the creative mind of Stanislaw Lem. This game is a game you may have seen before on the channel in terms of a demo, but now has a brand new one featuring the vehicles that you're seeing here, driving around in these atomic punk style vehicles, which seems to be a 1960s alternative history where the vehicles are plausible and a lot of the equipment is as well, but the exploration of a fictitious planet in this one is just beautiful, and it looks like the developers have put in an incredible amount of love and care to this one. Now, recently on the channel we played games like Deliver Us the Moon and Deliver Us Mars, and those were really fun games that had a lot of good story and a lot of good writing to them as well, but this one seems to be equal parts story and interaction and exploration, as well as it is a psychological thriller, and with beautiful, breathtaking landscapes that really remind me of seeing games like Riven or Myst for the first time, or even the newer games from Cyan as well. But all the landscapes and the diverse architecture and vehicles of this game just really make me want to see a game like this that is even more open world than this promises to be. But yeah, I'm really excited that this now has a fresh new demo that everyone gets to experience this week. Now, finally, coming in at number 1 is a game that's really fascinating, very beautiful, and very dark at the same time, almost along the same lines as the Witcher series, but is a city builder that also plays a little bit like Diablo or whatnot, like a top-down game controlling heroes, as well as it is very much a city builder. This, coming in at number 1, is Gourd. Now, all these games honestly have been in no particular order, but this is one that I kind of caught on Twitter for just random reasons, coming across what looked to be a screenshot of the box art for this game, where it looked to be like building a small village with a large palisade around it and trying to defend as if it were Frozenheim, or trying to be a little bit like Frostpunk, where the villagers are trying to defend their core, their hearth, against all sorts of different attacks. Kind of like a game like Against the Storm, but with a lot more heart. And this game is based on Slavic lore, and a lot of things are really dark and gritty and muddy, and it really feels like Diablo, where in Diablo things feel a lot like they're always hot and humid, but this game feels cold and dreary, and it delivers upon an atmosphere that I really want to be involved in and try to see these people through their adventures. Now, when I first saw this game, I thought it would just be a standard city builder that would just feature the whole typical survival of gathering food and then eventually, hunting and then farming and fishing and things like that. But the whole combat and the whole lore thing of, Baba Yaga and all the other legends and mysticism is appealing as well, because that leaves the developers a lot of leeway to create a game that they want based on the characters or the village or bosses that they want you to fight too. And of course, raids that can come to your village, not always just attacking, but it's also be attacked too. So it seems like a game that will play a little bit like Frostpunk, where the village must survive, but in this case, rather than just the weather being the only threat, it is also the constant threat of weird myths and also bandits and creatures that are almost mutant-like. But Gourd is a game that I'm really excited to play, and most of these games are also coming out on PlayStation and Xbox too. Not all of them, but it will be interesting to see if they do upon release or at early access or later after their release too. Sometimes it's hard to say. Nothing is always set in stone. Well, there you have it. From building airships to explore like in Subnautica and Raft, to building the Great Wall of China and tearing it down with medieval equipment, and from dark and gritty like builders like NORLAND and Gourd, to breathtaking games like the Invincible that look out of this world. Let me know what games you would suggest that are on the next event or the next fest for this year, and other games that you recommend for demo, and games that you think are releasing soon or that have recently released that you think would be worth anybody to check out. Remember, some of these games come out this week, some of these games have a limited time for their demos, and some demos are up forever and might also change. So nothing here is set in stone. So let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to become members too. Hit that join button and become a member today to unlock perks and much more on the channel and in our live streams too. And don't forget to join those for giveaways and more. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Enjoy the Steam Next Fest here on the channel. We'll be covering a lot more of these games in more depth and more detail. So please do let me know what you think about the video and what you think about all the games we showcased today and others that you'd suggest, because I want to try them out too. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.